Not too shabby. First phase
That's
material.
pretty good. Yeah, you got to go easy on those first phase heroes because even the bad teams pick them as well and don't do so well. So there you go. Game number 1. We're ready to jump in. We've got Crewmates. We've got Inverse. Let's do it. Let's put a quarter in and ride this pony.
Yes, and as we take a look in here, you'll see that band you just heard, the old Puck, right up there in terms of the most banned heroes across the entire patch. Not surprising. Beastmaster's there as well. Do you know the number 1 most banned hero still across the entire patch? It is, in fact, Timber Saw. Actually, to be fair, it is tied with Beastmaster still. So actually, if Timber were to not get banned in this game, and I don't know what other matches are happening at the same time, we could be witnessing the overtaking from Beastmaster. How exciting.
Neck and neck race here. And there's that Treant ban. All right, Bowie.
Sharing some strats, are we, Bowie? Oh my God.
Timber Saw. Will he make it through? Because he's definitely getting banned in the second round.
Now, in comparison, Beastmaster has 37 picks. Puck has 62 picks at 122 bans. Timber's actually only been picked 19 times in the entire DPC, despite being tied as the most banned hero.
It's just so annoying, dude.
Yeah, no one wants to deal with it, but no one wants to play it.
Yeah, it's
well, because he's not without counters, right? If you first pick Timber, that gives you a lot of opportunities to pick heroes that stop his snowball.
Exactly.
You kind of want to 10th pick him, but that almost never happens.
All right, guys, can we talk about the you can pick Centaur, but you get Tiny, and then you give Centaur and Snapfire away? Can we talk about this?
Classic South American drafting priority here. They go for the Tiny.
So what's the play? They stampede to get you. You just toss them back. Is that the play?
And then you take a support gyrocopter. There you go, dude. That doesn't answer all your questions.
Huh. Interesting. I mean, they have a lot of stuns, and the gyro can flex. The Tiny can flex. So in that sense, it's fine. I just feel like Centaur Snapfire is so strong.
Those are just 2 really good heroes. That's as simple as that. They feel amazing. Not that Tiny Gyro are necessarily bad, but I'm looking at 2 S tier Centaur Warrunner and Snapfire is a high A, easy A+, and Tiny Gyro are both A and B kind of. Tiny I think is kind of nice, maybe a little overrated.
It just feels like Inverse came from the future. People they're first picking Centaur when it's available. They're picking Mars to counter the Centaur, but they are in a different patch.
They're in a different reality where these have been the heroes carrying teams.
Here, Gyrocopter support can buy Rapier, just carry the game.
What is happening?
I don't want to.
Yeah, Techie's
harp too much.
Oh, don't forget now. There's a little respect. Hey, we looked this up. It's Amin, I think.
Yes,
right?
that's true.
Yeah, they've been banning Techies against
Techies player. I think Inverse are onto something.
Would they have picked it with Centaur and Snapfire though? I guess they could have. Could have just been mid-snap. Fair enough.
True. One thing I don't want to see from Crewmates is the Mars. I remember their first game, they were playing Peru servers. Ryer had mid-Mars, and just like Sexy Fat, missed a lot of spears in that first game. So maybe just get something a little bit easier to execute. Maybe avoid Spirit.
5 seconds remaining.
But there's heroes. You can play mid. DP. Pretty easy. Press R, press Z.
Yeah, that one's pretty easy. What did Quesadilla play in the last series? I think he's the player we know least
Void
about.
In the first game, and they lost. Then they played PL and Bloodseeker, I want to say. I don't remember though.
So Quesadilla is the one,
Void and lost.
right? He plays safe lane. Yeah. And Miggy goes mid.
10
Gotcha.
seconds remaining.
Okay, so they're gonna
5
take this
seconds
Weaver
remaining.
out. Jugger and Lifestealer are up, so I think these are 2 very high contested heroes.
Lifestealer anyway.
Fire lane. Yeah.
I mean, they could just Grim right now. I think of this for Crewmates. Trying to think of a 5 that makes any more sense. Honestly, I feel like Grim just kind of looks nice. I feel like you can get in range of the gyro. I wouldn't mind if you just instantly soulbind a Tiny in a team fight or something, because he's all just jumping on people if he's on the core roll. He wants to be in the middle with his tree,
Team pick.
I'm gonna start with the Void Spirit. So they're almost threatening in case this is Tiny mid, maybe.
Possible. Maybe Inverse also really values that hero.
I mean, I guess you could flex to a 4. So it is open-ended.
I would love the mid Mars from Inverse. I think I've seen at least 5 matches with Void versus Mars, and Void just gets destroyed every time. They go with the Crystal Main. Looks like her stonks are going up. Third game already.
It is really nice with the Tiny and the Gyro. And they want a little bit of protection now to get off some of these simple routes, or maybe after a homing missile. That's a classic one that Abba likes to just dispel off because it's so telegraphed when it's going to happen, right?
Mm-hmm.
And this has the flexibility too, where this could be the 1 or the 5.
Yeah.
So that whole bottom lane's open. Kind of weird with the 10th pick that you're basically revealing that it's Void Spirit mid, but at the same time it's also Void Spirit, and maybe it could be Snap as he said.
Yeah. Ooh.
Dire team.
All right, ban the ET, right?
Okay, good. And there's that Timber Saw, makes it to the end.
So they'll stay tied then, at least for now.
Radiant team ban.
We're going to take the Mars. I like this. Void Spirit would get... I guess... I mean, is the Skunka...
Yeah, it could have been
guess it's
Kunkka
mid.
3, and then the Mario's
Yeah.
mid, theoretically. But
Yeah.
is there any other 3 that's that worth it with the Tiny, though, going into an Abba
10
lane?
seconds remaining.
That's the main question you'd have to have, I guess, right? I mean, the DP's already gone. There's like Nature's Prophet in terms of like game style things with an Orchid, maybe. That could be somewhat annoying.
I have a feeling this is going to be ABBA 1, because they took this Mars... could have been Mars mid, but I think they're actually... I remember we saw a game with Carry Abaddon where the Mars would just ult, and Abaddon, like, all of the duration of the ult would be wasted.
10
Yeah, you
seconds.
just like trap him
So-
inside, basically.
Yeah. You know, obviously, if ABBA 5 has the same problem where he cannot get inside the arena to shoot his cores, but maybe this is actually Core Abaddon. I wouldn't mind it against, you know, Kunkka, Gyro, so much burst damage. You can just press R and you're free.
10 seconds
Yeah.
remaining.
Now, what do we have left in the way of off lanes?
5
I suppose
seconds
Kunkka could
remaining.
always double as a 3, but a lot of the good ones taken out here, even into like the LC Enigma territory.
Yeah, we're at like tied levels, I guess.
Tide's gone,
Tide
dude.
is gone, baby.
What? Oh, he was the last one. Okay, I hadn't opened it back
Yeah.
up. Okay, that makes more sense. Bloodseeker is still in.
Also taken... No?
What? No, he's not, is he? What? Am I crazy?
Okay.
He's in. He's in.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's fine.
Dire team
Pretty good versus Void Spirit. Oh.
Oh,
Well,
finally.
they did dig deep. We'll get to see some Necrophos.
This guy's doing great, by the way. 16 picks.
Yeah.
This will be the 17th so far in the DBC. He's got almost a 63% win rate. And obviously, it's a hero that gets picked in games where it looks solid. And so right here, you've already got some pretty tanky and annoying heroes.
10 seconds remaining.
Some concerns, I guess, with the Abba to help shield you a little bit,
5
but
seconds remaining.
not a huge deal. Looks pretty good. Long sustained fights are great with Kunkka and Gyro.
Yep. A lot of heal, a lot of magic, a lot of damage mitigation.
Wow, they just take the profit themselves.
Quick pick profit. There
Is
you
that
go.
all one?
So it's a... Okay. It's going to be an FCR Nature's Prophet. Snapfire 4. Pretty standard. Wow. I don't know what I feel about this Crewmates draft. We saw HFN doing really well with the Carry Nature's Prophet. But this feels like a different sort of draft. I'm not sure how this Abada and Nature's Prophet lane is going to go down. I guess it's going to be just a lot of farm trading.
It kind of looks like a lot of
because-
brawling too, though, throughout this game. Like the early game with the ultis, like between the boat and the call down, they can try and force as many fights as they want with the X, 'cause since you can't escape with the Stampede. But they have their own team fight abilities come in there too. So I feel like Crewmates kind of need pickoffs a little bit with like the Orchid and the Snapfire plays, whereas Inverse are just looking to like full on smoke and do with a big team fight and then go back to farming because they're not even going to take objectives that easily.
A lot of kill potential, though. A Quesadilla, Gyrocopter. I don't know. I feel like Inverse can just keep brawling. This CM is going to enable them to do a lot of what they want to do here.
True. I kind of envision like fight, win, and retreat to farm more ancients though until Gyro has like a lot of items. And I wonder if crewmates can perhaps get some advantage there with like if they get some earlier auras and the prophet starts
they might get
popping
some
off a little.
twos. I don't know. High ground still looks a little bit rough, but we'll see. I'm going to favor Inverse ever so slightly, but looks like a pretty even matchup here. Onward to the commentary team. Gary, we got a Necrophos, bud. One of my favorites for playing pubs, but is he going to be good in this competitive game here?
Yeah, it's been a long time coming, it feels like, with the past couple of patches being so focused around some of these tanky strength heroes. Necro, he does have a fair amount of counters, so like Trent was saying, you kind of have to wait until the latter stages of the draft for him to come out and really show his efficiency. Theban,
yeah,
how you doing?
Doing good. I literally just slipped in right this moment. I had an emergency I had to take care of, but yeah, we're here. I'm glad I didn't miss a beat.
Yeah, I mean, the draft was perfectly timed. I literally finished my last bite of food as the last hero was picked, so it's all timed out perfectly for both of us, it looks like. Game 1 here at this best of 3, Inverse taking on Crewmates. So, Nature's Prophet Pods 1, you know, like the panel was saying, we've seen HFN had some serious success with it, and now it looks like FCR are going to be trying to replicate that.
It's a really good hero. I feel like Arteezy, that's another player who has been playing a lot in matchmaking. Some other, you know, maybe not as high MMR players have also been playing in position 1 in Europe as well, getting kind of popular. It's just that laning stage power is so good. Everything in Dota right now is about winning these lanes, and Nature's Prophet really helps do that. So we're going to see a lot of momentum coming out from him. But that being said though, the offlane, Necrophos, that's a really good hero against the NP.
Why is that?
Well, you got Death Pulse that can hit the treants and can manage to deal with the lane or the creep equilibrium really well. You also have the Heartstopper aura, which is nice. So just the two combination will make it harder for Nature's Prophet to just kind of bully you out of the lane. You got that little bit of extra sustain too. This is a hero that I've been looking at recently, Necrophos. I'm wondering if it's like S tier or like A tier, but people haven't really spent enough time experimenting with it.
Yeah, it kind of feels like when it's pickable, it's S tier, but it's just like waiting for that point in the draft. You know, there's a lot of magic damage counters, you know, Bat Rider, the old Shadow Fiend, stuff like that can kind of rip through him during Ghost Shroud. But yeah, it definitely brings you a lot of that lane sustain, as they do start off with the Avalanche onto FCR, with D-Flash behind him. He's got shields to keep him away in lane and bully away at these two Radiant heroes. I guess also the fact that Nature's Prophet, after a couple of levels, you can kind of leave him alone if you do have a hero that wants to move into another lane and try and make things up elsewhere. Down bottom, Armin and Slaw having a bit of a head-to-head around that small camp. Sentry already placed, but gets body blocked up. Maiden with a Gyrocopter against Centaur Snap.
Gyrocopter, very potent carry in this current patch. There's a lot of carries who are also favoring this hero. Again, another good laning. Ooh, that damage. Again, the Lil Shredder.
Level 1.
Lil Shredder plus the Blightstone doing work. Yep. They're getting kicked out of this lane for now, though, because they're double range heroes on the CM Gyro. But once they get to that level 2, like we've seen with the Snapfire, that's when they're going to feel a little bit more pressure.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting, isn't it? I always thought Scatterblast, Cookie with all... Flax, D-Flash with R's and T up top. Had a bit of a scrap. Created a new lane for themselves. Dragging that wave across, but it looks like it'll all calm down. Yeah, I always thought the Scatterblast plus Cookie was, you know, the prime build for this Snap plus Centaur lane. But Centaur having so much base damage, you know, buying a bracer and stuff like that, the minus armor just amps up his right click so nicely.
It all adds up really well, because in the early laning stage, you're not only relying on your magic damage, you're right-clicking quite a lot. So it just gives you much more consistent DPS with the Lil Shredder, I would think.
Yeah, it definitely does. Like 50 mana cost doesn't feel as bad to keep spamming it out over and over again. And then just a little look into mid. Void Spirit 12 and 4, Kunkka 11-2, both going to get their bottles and their water runes up. So it looks like a pretty even laning stage so far between them. Is this similar to the Ember versus Kunkka lane that we love to talk about?
Kind of, but I feel like Void Spirit has a little bit more control in this lane because he can just Resonant Pulse, he gets a little bit tankier, he can trade back with the Kunkka a little bit better, where in the Ember lane, it's like, you're only absorbing the magic damage, right? And Kunkka is not going to be dealing damage to magic damage. I think it's a little bit harder for the Kunkka in the early laning stage, but overall, we're probably going to see a wash. Most of these melee matchups don't really end up with one hero over farming the other one. That being said, Kunkka does have that jungle potential, which the Void Spirits is kind of lacking.
And then it's going to come down to that like 5.5, 6 minute TP rotational movement with one of those action runes. Maybe at 6 minutes. As we've seen in some of these previous games, you know, the preemptive move from the mid lane is kind of guessing where the opposing mid is going to move. So I guess Void Spirit probably wants to, you know, move bottom into the Centaur snap lane and pressure the Gyrocopter. Kunkka could react to that quite easily. Also, the fact they've got Prophet to TP into these fights if they desperately need an additional member. There's a lot of maneuverability on the Dire squad with TP, Void Spirit's maneuverability, Stampede.
Top lane, we see a go on to the Nature's Prophet with the Abaddon pulling. Flax, he wants to toss back the NP.
The small Tombo. Avalanche,
Just
toss.
a small combo, okay.
It's gonna burst him down though.
Nice.
First blood with that level 2 Death Pulse.
Yep. So they were losing in terms of last hits. Well, not really too hard, but now they got the first blood. The Necro will pull ahead. NP lanes, like these are when you pick NP carry, you need to win your lane pretty much. So this is gonna be a big problem having the NP die.
It sure is, yeah. A couple of good little denies there on his Treants though, as he returns to lane with his TP. And Abaddon solo forcing that Necro.
Bully. I hate this hero.
Bully.
I hate Abaddon so much.
of
Look at him. Look at he's so annoying. He just right clicks you and you're like a snail trying to run away. Oh man, it feels bad.
Especially when you see those numbers popping up above your head, you know, you're like against a monkey, you're against an Abaddon, you're like, oh god, 1, 2, please no, 3, oh god, get me out of here. Definitely a nasty feeling.
Yep.
So yeah, even though they lose the Prophet, still straight back into action, farming away.
It was a really good play there from Flax to go. Oh, see, yep. There it is, the damage.
Burst out the Maiden. Now Gyro's gone aggressively onto the Snapfire.
Gyro's in a huge... No, Gyro's
This is not looking good for Quesadilla.
No.
He pops his stick. He's got a Fairy Fire, but he's just been burst down. Walked into the middle of both of these strength heroes, thinking he could try and burst them.
Yeah, he just had to back off, wait for Slaw to TP back in, salve him up. But he kind of just got frustrated, I think, with the situation. And now died. The Centaur really pulling ahead now. 1 kill, 1 assist, 23 last hits, about to have Vanguard in 200-ish gold. Arzen top.
Yeah.
Up the Tiny, he's gonna die.
There's the silence. And D-Flash clicks him. And FCR comes in with the finish. And the Dire team, you know, I think your phraseology there, pulling ahead, definitely the case. You know, Tendonize on Prophet. Void Spirit now getting ahead of the Kunkka. And the Centaur, 26 and 6. An absolute monster for Hijack. And this is even before.
What he just did.
What's he done?
He got level 6, same time as the Kunkka. He instantly uses his Astral Step to shove the lane out so he can kill the Catapult first before the Kunkka can come in and pressure the tower with his Catapult. So now Ryer is going to have all the freedom in the world to move either top or bottom to make any plays or even control the 6-minute power route.
And then he can make his move. Well, up top, D-Flash. He gets gone on, but that is tanky Abaddon with a shield. He salved himself up, and they are not killing him. So Flax with Arzen can't stick it to the Abaddon, and that's Prophet just continuing to free farm in the top lane. You still don't see this Ryo Void Spirit making a move into the side lanes, but like you said, he grabs up the Illusion Rune, and the options are still there for him.
It's the Illusion Rune. That's probably the biggest reason why he had to just walk back to middle. If it was like a Haste or a DD, he might have just instantly walked top or TP'd in there, snagged up the kill.
Gyro. He's been caught here. The cookie into Stomp. Now the minus armor. He doesn't die, but he's in that kind of threshold where he doesn't want to stick around in lane. Try and clear through some of these additional jungle camps.
God.
But in comes Ryo. Void Spirit's arriving. They're going to kill him. Just Astral Step, double up, in onto that high ground and pick off the Gyro, then steal his creeps. Stampede, what's that for? Top lane to get the Abaddon out. Looks like he's safe and sound, while the Prophet aggressive with the Wrath of Nature bouncing into that Poor Necro, sprouting up the Tiny. Oh, body blocks. Body blocks. Keep the Tiny trapped in place. Keep the clicks going. FCR with a double kill incoming. There we go. Beautifully done.
Very, very nice. I mean, they might have died first because the Abaddon was pulling, but they've come back into this lane and they've won it big time. Necro, still level 4. Nature's Prophet, a sliver of an XP from level 7. That big Wrath of Nature doing crazy amount of damage just early into the game.
And the early level 6 on Centaur.
Yeah, exactly. Just because they were able to win these silence in terms of creeps.
That's a 7.5 minute.
Wait,
Tier 1 tower.
Are you really going to TP in here?
He's just TP,
No.
he's level 5. He doesn't have cooldown, they jump onto his support. Slaw gets burst down, the Tiny there with the Avalanche Toss, trying to bring down his Centaur, but he's got Vanguard, stick charges, 300
Gotta
HP remaining. He's going to turn with a stomp. Well, I'm in, he's got a cookie here, thinking about bouncing the Centaur into the gyro. They're dodging and juking, but there it is. The chain stuns come. Quesadilla, he's shredded.
Yeah, I think Quesadilla is kind of done with this game, Gary.
Yeah, tilted out of contention. Mid lane Kunkka trying to battle with the Abaddon, but D-Flash is winning it. That is not a duel that the Kunkka can take, apparently, and FCR thinking about TPing. Hijack does die to Flax, bottom. I don't know how that happened, but it did.
He was level 3, Gary. He just walked in, he saw Centaur low health, tomboed him, and he's dead. And now he's level 5. I mean, that's a pretty big win for Flax here, because you get this Tiny rolling, he gets a Tome on 6-2, maybe gets to level 7, on 10 minutes, gets to level 7, max out Avalanche, maybe make some plays with the Kunkka X-Mark Torrent combos. I think they could crawl their way back into this game. I mean, this early laning stage has been a little awful, but they do have heroes that can kill very easily on Inverse.
That is true. And I guess the fact that you have a gyrocopter, right? It's not a Phantom Lance or a PA. Gyro can offer magic damage early, especially when he hits level 6. So you have the ability to decide, do we take this fight or do we dodge and just try and farm up ancient stacks, for example?
Mm-hmm. Agreed. And I really want to see this gyrocopter just, keep it cool. Who pauses? Was it Radiant? Good. Okay. Maybe they pause. They're like, all right, Quesadilla, it's time for you to chill out, get some meditation going, get your app open, take a quick 1-minute meditation, relax, and then let's play some Dota.
Yeah, it's probably Flax.
See who paused. It was Flax. Flax is like,
yes.
Yo, I just got this big nasty kill on this Centaur, all right?
Yes.
I'm level 5.5. I'm going to carry you. Just chill.
That's literally what I was going to say as well. Definitely the PMA, thinking, hey, I'll do it. Don't you worry. I'll create space. It'll all be fine.
There was a tournament, right, where they allowed pauses for teams, like a timeout. I forgot what tournament that was. I think it was Star Ladder. And it was a LAN. They allowed timeouts. Honestly, I would love timeouts in Dota. I think it should be a real thing where you should be able to stop for like a solid 2-minute pause or a 1-minute pause even to be able to just speak your mind, okay guys, we need to focus this guy. This is what's happening. We gotta chill out. Maybe someone in the game is panicking. Give them a little bit of that breather, or maybe you just want to stop the game to stop the momentum of your opponent, something of that sort. I know it's possible to also do it, just say, oh, my mouse doesn't work, pause the game, but like a legit timeout would be something people would consider going into the game as to when they would want to use it.
We need a rulebook first. Valve, you listening? Rulebook, please. Thank you.
TeamSpeak doesn't work is the best, says Dino. He's been around. He knows what teams are using. TeamSpeak. Oh man,
we had so many excuses, like my cat's on fire with a pizza boy
I've
at
never
the door.
heard that. I'm sorry. What? My cat's on fire. Okay.
I can't remember what it was that. I'm sure it was like Navi or something 6 years ago, because someone was pausing every 5 minutes, my mouse is broken or TeamSpeak's broken.
Oh,
and then they paused
at a TI qualifiers.
And they were memeing and they were like, my cat's on fire. Seriously? No, not seriously, but they had to give an excuse for it.
There was that team Wind and Rain during TI 7 qualifiers. No, TI 8 qualifiers with Ritsu on it, and they would pause at the start of every game.
Oh, yeah.
And the teams got so pissed with them. They're like, stop. We know you're strategizing. Just stop,
It's pretty bad-mannered.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're right. Definitely some clear rules around timeouts and stuff like that could be Very nice, especially in a LAN setting, right? It's very difficult with online tournaments to kind of pressure those rules onto people, but at a LAN setting. Actually, what do you think about, in CSGO, they used to have coaches who could also kind of chime in during a pause.
Yeah.
They would be there with their mics and headsets on. Do you reckon that should be there with Dota 2 as well for the timeouts?
I think Valve was leaning towards that idea where they're like, okay, we're gonna slowly incorporate the coaches. We're gonna be like, okay, you can be there doing drafts, so you can sit behind the teams and stuff like that. And they were going towards that, and then they kind of like halted with it because maybe they faced other problems, like battle pass problems. I don't know, whatever it may be. And then you got COVID that hit, you got a TI blockage, but I feel like that's the direction Dota is going, and most esports are going, where they want to incorporate coaches to have a bigger role so that you can have better quality games.
Yeah, absolutely. And take some of the pressure off of the player captains, right? And people like Puppy, PVD, they fulfill multiple roles. If you kind of spread that across multiple people, it's a much nicer experience for you. But here we go, back underway. Crewmates, we're definitely in a groove. We'll see if this pause upsets that, or if they can keep the aggression going. As they do have FCR now farming in that triangle area, in towards his Witchblade. Abaddon holds out top, and the Radiant kind of wondering where they should play. Like, losing that bot tier 1 so early makes things a little bit awkward, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think Necrophos just needs to continue pressuring this top lane in. Even if there's an Abaddon leeching the XP, eventually you're going to need to take this tower. And I would love to see the Kunkka be the one making the rotation to help take that tower. Bottom Crewmates already taking their first objective themselves. Maybe Tiny can also chill there, get some XP. Look at Flax, man. He's level 6 with 900 gold. He is rich for a 4. He is very rich.
He's only 600 net worth behind the the gyrocopter.
Yeah.
And they do smoke up towards top.
I mean, Gyro's struggles is because of frustration. I don't think, he should be this far behind.
Yeah, it's not like a draft issue or a play issue. So
Borrow time,
move on to
though,
D-Flash. He is holding that. Wait, hang on. He is holding the point.
Oh, there it is.
He's using it now. I was wondering for a second. So extends the duration. They need to keep chasing him into the trees. They will be able to bring him down, but that's, what, a 5-hero rotation up towards top, while mid lane tier 1's being pressured.
Big plays. Crewmates. Okay, here, now we got problems from Crewmates. Okay. I love Crewmates rotation, right? They see everybody going after the Abaddon top. They don't overreact, TP in their Void and Centaur and start to, play in this concave that Inverse have created. Just go for mid tower. Get the better objective on the mid tower. And that's what I love about Crewmates. These guys from season 1, they're always looking to improve. Not only their gameplay, but their macro plays. And you can see that in every game that they're playing right now.
Yeah, understanding where they need to be on that map. There's a lot of good warding and vision down in the bottom jungle too, so they can kind of process of elimination. Nobody's showing bot, no one's showing in that jungle. We've got perfect vision, we're pushing mid. Gyrocopter and everyone else is all up towards top lane. There's even a DD rune down bottom. If Ryo wants to go and grab it to refill his bottle.
Snapfire also has a level 3 low shredder to help take the tower out. Unfortunately, had to upgrade that Orb of Corrosion into, not Orb of Corrosion, Blightstone into a medallion, so the medallion can't really remove tower armor, unfortunately.
Yeah, that always upsets me. It always feels so bad when you...
Your right click doesn't remove armor. Feels bad.
So sad. Just buy another one. Just go buy another Blightstone.
There could be you can make an argument where if you play the Snapfire or some hero with medallion, maybe your teammate should get like an Orb of Corrosion, because that would be a lot of minus armor. Also helps you take Roshan much easier too.
I mean, do you think you should be able to use medallion on towers?
No. Gary, this is why you don't do balance changes, okay?
Okay. I was I wasn't saying you should. I was just asking to gauge your reaction, and that was a very negative reaction.
Listen, I bet if you were Ice Frog, Warlock would be the most OP hero in Dota 2. You'd probably make Warlock have an extra golem with every level.
With every
that,
level he gets.
Chaotic Offering. Yeah, level 2 Chaotic Offering, 2 golems. Level 3 Chaotic Offering, 3 golems. And then you would also give them magic immunity plus 50 armor or something.
Man, talents were the best thing to happen to Warlock. I'm not gonna lie.
That's true. That's very true.
It was so beautiful. It was way better back in the day when he had like 30% XP gain plus he had XP and GPM talents. That felt incredible for Warlock.
That was so good. Yeah. I mean, I love what Valve has done, or like what they've done with Dota 2 changes. They've removed those like easy talents that were just like kind of filler talents, and they've actually added
Respawn
legit
talents.
things now. Yeah, over time. Oh, that was the most broken. Respawn talents.
Yeah, was it Lena with like minus 40 seconds or something? Just die and immediately respawn again with Bloodstone? Like, it was, right? Bloodstone Rush Lena. Yeah. It's absolutely bonkers.
Some crazy shit. And you can't push high ground because of these respawn talents. It was ridiculous. I remember the games were like hours long.
Well, the Radiant are trying to reclaim their jungle, but a good Dissimulate dodges that avalanche, and the kisses out from Grandma. Flax gets burst down. Now, Slaw's in a pretty rough position here. T gonna bodyguard the maiden back, while mid lane they try to get on top of the Kunkka. Looks like they won't actually find anybody.
Very unfortunate from Inverse. Like, Gyrocopter is able to catch back up because he's playing on the top side, but this is too much of reactionary movements from Inverse. They gotta continue to play top side, I feel like, and Tiny's gotta focus more on getting his Blink Dagger up and running, not fight into this Abaddon level 4 Apothic shield.
Oh my goodness, that damage onto T. They do get a good X-Mark boat though, with the Reaper's Scythe. Nature's Prophet, he's not going to die. He's walking it back, he's got Sprout, TP.
Wait,
Can he get out of here?
Is he alive?
They can't catch him. Death Pulse, no, nothing. Prophet's out of there. Meanwhile, the chase onto Flax. There's the little shredder going to work from Army and onto Slaw now. They missed out with that Remnant, but Crystal Maiden being focused. D-Flash does drop to Quesadilla. Still a pretty good fight for the crewmates. Coming down here, saving FCR, getting him out, and he can also potentially return with another teleport because Ryo moved aggressively there, but doesn't want to battle the Kunkka.
Wow, that cookie was really nice because it stopped the Kunkka and Necro from getting those 2 right clicks in that would have brought Nature's Prophet low enough to die to the Reaper Sight. So now they got Reaper Sight on cooldown. Nature's Prophet survives some miraculous way with the nice Sprout there. And crewmates, they can just get back on this map.
Absolutely can. Interesting though, looking at this this build up from D-Flash and Armin, the Solar Crest fully understand on the Snapfire. No Glimmer Cape on the Abaddon though against this tiny Necro Gyro.
Right.
Do you like the Force Staff?
I think the Force Staff is nice to get him away from the X-Mark combo, because the X-Mark will come out, then the Torrent will come out before the bolt lands, and if you can force them out before the bolt lands, you can save your teammates that way too.
Yeah.
But like you said, Glimmer Cape would be just as good in this kind of game. It just costs way more mana for Abaddon.
That's true. Crystal Maiden, wrong neck of the woods. And Necrophos, he's got 1200 HP and a hood. He's reasonably tanky, but this is everybody from crewmates right on top of him. They can't defend that tower, and they move straight onto the Tiny next. The last kiss does land, and the TP forward from the Prophet. A double kill comes out for FCR. Full control for the crewmates down bot. They've cleared out all of the towers. And now they can return to the other side of the map and start thinking about controlling Roshan for the next 5 minutes.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's middle
It looks
tower
like
Really good
Kunkka.
for crewmates. And this early outpost take is going to be so detrimental for Inverse.
Oh, yeah.
Just that experience every minute, like, it just adds up, Gary. It feels so bad losing your outpost. Plus, you have 1 less place to TP to. Actually, 2 less places to TP to, because you lost your tier 2 tower as well. You actually have 0 control over this bottom jungle now as Inverse.
It's a no-go zone.
Yeah, it
You do
is.
not want to be heading down there. It's double warded up by the Dire as well, as that Radiant Sentry misses both of them.
And I will say to Flax, this early gold that he's had has pretty much amounted to nothing now, because he hasn't been able to just sit in the lane and finish that dagger. He's been running around trying to get into these fights with so much gold in his bank.
Yeah, not able to convert it into an actual item. And Quesadilla, you know, he has been given that room top, heading towards an Aghanim Scepter, it looks like. He's had plenty of time to farm away. He's hit level 10, but still, what, 6th place on that net worth board? 5th place? 3 dire cores all ahead of their Radiant counterparts. And a smoke coming
across.
through from Inverse, trying to break the rut, catching out FCR. They catch a glimpse of him. Sprouts there as the X into boat, connects onto the
Shield.
Nature's Prophet, the Stampede, the shield, the heals. Not enough. Prophet's down, but the blink stomp. Hijack catches the both of them. Miggy's Kunkka, very tanky, walks it away. Starts a DD rune going, but the kiss is magical damage. That'll take him down. Ryor and Armin, mega kill streaks for them. And Slaw, the final casualty of war. 3-for-1 trade for that Nature's Prophet. Oh, if Hijack had revealed there, he might have gone on to Ars and T as well.
They got the kill on FCR though. I'm trying to think if that's worth it. The position
Positives?
1 carried 9,000 net worth for 3 heroes.
Well,
It's
Tiny got
close,
like,
Gary. Yeah, he got a lot of gold.
yeah, 450, so he's 200 away from
Almost
Blink
at
now.
dagger.
But yeah, overall, XP and gold-wise, it was a crewmate victory, just by the numbers.
Okay. Tiny dagger. If he can finish this, 50 more gold. Maybe they can make some smokes. Some
Don't
more
buy
smokes.
flax. Go sit
kill the
somewhere
Nature's
safe,
Prophet.
Tiny.
You just gotta wait 20 seconds. You got your gold.
Combo down that creep wave, and there it is. Blink dagger ready. And Gyrocopter clearing through some ancient stacks means Quesadilla is now but 800 gold away from the Aghanim Scepter. Hang on a second. Does he have the point booster on a courier? I hate how all the couriers now like sit on top of each other in the fountain instead of being spread. I can't find the Gyro's courier.
Yeah, it's so weird. All the couriers just stack up in one place. If you remember previously, they were all separated in the fountain. Where you can
were like
see
a-
everybody's courier.
They're in like a nice formation.
Yeah.
Oh,
But it's got the
we'll see.
eggs. Nope. Yep. He still needs 400 more gold.
I think he needs a bit more. I can't see the point booster anywhere. Miggy's getting initiated on middle, though. He throws the boat, tries to TP. The Torrent comes, but he's been cancelled out. Miggy gone, and a cookie from Armin finding Tiny. Flax already spent his blink combo. Didn't get a kill, and the Dissimulate will burst him down. A double for FCR, in fact. Somehow gets the final touch. And now it looks like a mid-tier 2 push for the crewmates. Gyro just going to be given that bot lane to try and shove it out as best he can. I don't know, man. It just feels like a losing battle.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Really does. And Nature's Prophet is always just able to go back and pick up all these creep waves that are pushing in to crewmates while the rest of his team can just stay aggressively on the map.
Oh, Crystal Maiden. Immediately dispatched with by Ryor's Void Spirit.
Yep. They will hold
so
the main
Gyro
tower
has-
though.
That's true. And Gyro does have the Ags now.
Yeah. Just finished it up.
That's going to give him a little more potency in these little scrappy fights. Of course, increases his farm speed. Needs that BKB. And it looks like he wants a Quelling Blade to try and break through these Nature's Prophet sprouts. My god. D-Flash. X-Mark drag back. But a blink stomp from Centaur. Onto those two. Ars and T and Quesadilla with the TP from FCR. They're focusing the Gyrocopter down, and he's done. Aghanim Scepter didn't save him from that. Now Miggy trapped between everybody from crewmates. The Kunkka is just
they got
perfect
the
target
Void.
attribution, but the Reaper's side kills off Royal's Void Spirit, and they haven't finished off the Kunkka. Finally, he dies to FCR. But 2 cores for the price of 1. Maybe if they can find the Prophet now, as FCR trapped behind the Sprout, tossed up by Flax. There's the kill that they needed. The trouble is they're going to lose everything for it. A 5-man wipe is incoming. They've killed the Void and the Prophet, but Slaw left all alone. Hijack and D-Flash, they can chase this one down with another Blink Stomp double edge. They'll clear through every single member of Inverse.
Well, they did a lot better than I thought. It looked like it was just going to be a straight wipe without losing anybody, but the Void Spirit...
Open the fight recap.
Alright, what is it?
It's like dead
Okay.
even.
Oh man, yeah, they're just so far ahead on Dire, so losing any heroes is really not good for them. That cookie just doesn't land. Nature's Prophet goes in with the BKB, kills off the Gyrocopter. Maybe a preemptive BKB there, I think. Too early. Now the Kunkka with the bolt buff, kind of tanky, you know, soaking it up. Got the kill onto the Void with the Reaper, and the bolt buff starts to run out, and that's when things turn sour for Inverse. Tiny though, walking in, he really wanted that Nature's Prophet bad, and he got it. He's getting gold, you know, on Tiny. He's getting the kills. It's just that the cores are not staying alive.
That's the big problem now, yeah. And Miggy's Halberd is helping out against his Prophet, but KCD has been found in that Radiant jungle. Very low HP as Hijack makes the jump, and Flax, well, he blink avalanche toss trying to save his Gyro, but that's only putting himself in danger. Cookie stun, and down you go. And FCR is TPing straight onto Slaw, the Crystal Maiden. We're just going to get soloed here. He even BKBs to finish her off. Or Miggy, he's been scouted out. They don't have a stomp, but they've got the blink initiation, and oh, that damage comes out of nowhere. Roshan time for the crewmates.
Solar Crest plus Leo Shredder. Goodbye, Roshan's armor.
Yeah, plus a Blightstone as well. FCR puts that into his inventory, back out again. And Aegis gonna go into the backpack. Into the inventory of the Nature's Prophet, who TPs straight up to top. And this Necro pick, we haven't really felt the strength of it. You know, he did okay in lane. Oh, hang on a second. That's a Yules and a Remnant onto him. He's got a hood, though.
Yeah, it's been a real struggle for him. I think the game speed is just a little too fast for the Necrophos. He's the kind of hero who just wants to push lanes, slowly get to your tower, get your team to collapse, but crewmates are just everywhere on this map. Thanks to the Nature's Prophet, just able to pick up all the other creeps. They never really have to go back to deal with waves with the position 1 NP.
And it feels like the Radiant want... Oh, Flax makes a jump onto D-Flash. Again, though, that's an Abaddon with a 4 staff and level 2 borrowed time. Still holding his ultimate. Doesn't need to use it just yet. The Radiant win the D-Ward battle as the jump storm. Hijack again with a 2-man. Stuns him up. Stampedes in. Now the Kiss is landing onto Miggy. The boat comes too late as they Yules the Necro up. Kiss is just being launched from such a long distance. Artillery strike landing onto this Necrophos. The Ghost Shroud ends, and so will his life when he lands on the ground with a big old thud. Hijack on a killing spree.
Wow. Just gonna take the tier 2 tower now. They just want to dominate this map on crewmates. With the BKB, AC almost complete as well for FCR. You know, Gary, feel Flax, he's gonna need to diversify his spell casting.
Oh, he can't even kill D-Flash.
Yikes.
That's like the third time he's gone onto the Abaddon, and the third time he's going to die for his attempts. And bottom lane, they're just going to go high ground up to the tier 3. Nothing stopping them. Slaw's Crystal Maiden, just getting pummeled. She's trying to defend that all on her lonesome, doesn't have buyback. They glyph up and clear the creep wave, but there's a fresh one coming in a couple of seconds. And now you have to contend with Void Spirit, Aghanim Scepter, silencing up your Necro, your Kunkka. There's no BKBs for the Radiant, are there? So this Remnant after Yule Scepter, Blink Stomp, Necro's gone. Again, no buyback available for him. Cooldown comes, Quesadilla has TP'd into a very aggressive position. Zones out the crewmates, but no kill attempt, no kill threat onto any of the Dire heroes, but definitely kill threat onto that Gyrocopter, as I believe that disconnect means GG.
I believe so too.
Yes. Oh, Flax!
Oh, there we go. He got him.
And a buyback immediately from D-Flash. Well, there we go. A very one-sided affair, Theban. 37-8. Crewmates stomped him.
Really was. I think this Nature's Prophet position 1 is just very good in the South American meta where everybody likes to play fast. They like to constantly run at you and fight. And NP, he can always be there in these fights if he needs to as a position 1. Or he could be farming up these waves that are being split pushed into him without anyone else on crewmates having to split up. It just makes the game so much easier for these guys, I think. And we're going to be seeing a lot more of this NP. Maybe game 2. Might have to think about banning it if you're in first.
Well, we'll see if they do just that. Game 2 coming up right after this break.